joining me for today's Vinyasa Power Yoga Flow class. This is a 30-minute class and we're going to be working up towards a peak pose, which is Warrior 3, sometimes also known as airplane. If you don't know what that is, it's absolutely fine. I'm going to guide us there in our practice. It's a standing balance pose, and there will be options if you're not feeling that today. You don't need any equipment other than your mat and some space around you that you can lift a leg up and back and off to the side. We're going to get a little pretzel-y in a few postures. So make sure you have your mat, some music playing if you like to play music during your yoga flow. Otherwise, your breath can be your music to guide you through your class. Child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch. Walk your knees towards the wide edges of your mat, and then begin to crawl your fingertips forward, bringing your forehead to rest on the mat. Maybe the tip of your nose also rests on the mat. And let's take 3 cleansing breaths here together. Nice deep inhale through the nose, filling up with air down into the bottom lobes of your lungs. And an open mouth exhale. Empty out completely. Again, deeper, fuller inhale, bringing in even more space than you did with the first breath. And an open mouth exhale, let go of something that won't serve you on your mat. One more, deepest, fullest inhale yet. Bringing in that breath until you feel like you can't take in another sip, holding it at the top. And an open mouth exhale, empty out, relax your shoulders, relax your neck. And then begin to seal your lips closed and continue taking those inhales through the nose, filling up with as much air as you can. Lips closed, exhale through the nose as powerfully as you can. Create a slight constriction in the back of the throat to create an audible ocean-like sound as you exhale. And on your next inhale, press into your fingertips, lift your forehead from the mat, and as you exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left, coming to rest on the outside of the right shoulder and the right temple. Walk those left fingertips forward and spiral your armpit down towards the mat. Gaze underneath your left arm. Take an inhale breath and think about lengthening your waist out of your hips. And as you exhale, maybe twist just a little bit towards the left. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring the right fingertips back to meet the left. And as you exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right, coming to rest on the outside of the left shoulder and the left temple. Again, guide that right shoulder down and back into its socket. Spiral the armpit down towards the mat. And then feel that nice opening in the upper back on the left side. Inhale and exhale. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and unthread. Bring the left fingertips back to meet the right. Press your hips back even further as you exhale. And then inhale, come up to a tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, cow pose, melt your belly, open your chest. And exhale, tuck around and curl, cat. Press the mat away from you as you draw your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale. Cow pose, lift your hips, drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale, cat, tuck around and curl. And inhale, cat. Exhale, cat. Return to your neutral tabletop. Walk your palms out about a palm's distance from where they were. Corkscrew those palms into the mat, pinkies pointing towards the long edge of the mat. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Begin to pedal out your feet, wag your tail side to side, or find any movement that feels right here to you as you create that upside down V with your body. Settling in to find some stillness, thinking about the weight being equal between your hands and your feet. Squeeze your quadriceps, squeeze your buns, and on an inhale, look forward, and exhale, step left foot behind left hand, right foot behind right hand, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back, hips and thighs draw back, chest lengthens forward. Exhale, fold, and inhale, Tadasana. Tuck your tailbone under, keep a bend in your knees, and slowly stand up. Palms can touch, or they can be shoulder width distance apart. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway, plant your palms, step your left foot back, and then your right foot to meet it, high plank, top of a push-up. Give a press into all 10 fingers. Press especially between that spot, or in that spot between your thumb and your forefinger. Pull your palms back towards your toes, toes forward towards your palms, and keep your legs and your bum engaged. On your next exhale, downward facing dog. And as you inhale, come into a tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, untuck the toes. Inhale, arch your back like you were coming into cow pose and press your right heel up towards the ceiling with a bent knee. Exhale, press into the mat, round your upper back, draw the right knee to the right tricep. Let's flow that 3 more times. Inhale, arch the back, press the heel towards the ceiling, and exhale, round as you draw the knee to the right tricep. 2 more. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, round and tap. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, round and tap. Inhale, back to a neutral spine, and exhale, tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and come back into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high, bend your knee, and open the hip. Press into the right palm to keep your shoulders squared, and maybe turn some circles with your right ankle or your right knee. Then come back to 3-legged dog and downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step the right foot to the right hand, left foot to the left hand, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise, Tadasana, slowly roll up. Tuck your tailbone under, powerful through the legs. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, step your right foot, then your left foot back to a high plank. Broaden through the back of your shoulders. Pull your shoulders out towards the wide edges of your torso. Pull your belly button back towards your spine. Squeeze your buns and hug your legs. Downward facing dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, pull your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale, arch your back. Press your left heel up towards the ceiling. And exhale, round the back. Tap the knee to the tricep. Inhale, arch, open your collarbones as you press that heel up towards the ceiling. And exhale, tuck, round, and curl, belly button towards spine, knee towards elbow. 2 more. Inhale, arch and press. Exhale, make contact with that knee and the tricep as you pull your belly button and your chin in towards your chest. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back to a neutral spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, bend the knee, stack the left hip over the right, press into the left hand, and then turn any circles with the knee, the hip, or the ankle on the left. Left foot returns to the mat, downward facing dog, chest back towards thighs, low belly scoops in. Draw your shoulders to the wide edges of your back and then drop them down into your armpits. So your ears are lengthening away from your shoulders. Inhale, shift your gaze forward. Exhale, feet behind hands, forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold, and inhale, rise, chair pose, Katasana. Sitting back into that imaginary chair. Press your shins back. Make sure your knees aren't jutting out over your toes. Paid a lot for that pedicure. You want to be able to see it. Bring your thumbs to your hips and turn the backs of your hips down so your tailbone draws down towards the mat, and that narrows the spot, shortens the spot between your hip crease and your front ribs. Knit the front ribs in towards one another. Extend the fingertips, chair pose. Exhale, sparrow pose. We're going to swim the arms back, come up onto your tippy toes, and interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, heels release, chair pose. Exhale, interlace the hands behind you, opposite thumb on top. Sparrow pose, sit your butt down a little bit lower. Inhale, chair pose, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift, and exhale, step your feet back. High plank, top of a push-up. Inhale, chaturanga, shift forward onto your toes, bend your elbows 90 degrees, pin them into the side ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog, tops of the feet, palms on the mat, collarbones spread wide, gaze forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, right tricep, tap as close to your armpit as you can. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger pose, cat through the upper back. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Pull the knee up as close to the armpit as you can. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot next to the right thumb, and inhale, come up, high lunge, crescent pose. So again, bring your thumbs to the backs of your hips. Tuck your tailbone under to create less space between the floating ribs and the right hip point. Tug the right hip back and firm up through the back of the left leg. Inhale, fingertips towards the ceiling, shoulders over hips. Exhale, hover your chest, airplane arms. So the fingertips reach back. Think about the pinkies reaching up towards the ceiling to engage the triceps. Inhale, back up to crescent lunge. Use your core to stack your head over your shoulders, over your hips. Exhale, swim it back, airplane arms. Inhale, crescent lunge. We're going to do this one more time. Exhale, swim it back, airplane arms. Inhale, crescent lunge, and exhale, open it up to warrior two. Heel to arch alignment, the front heel intersects the back arch. Give a press into the pinky edge of the front foot to open up the knee, and give a press into the pinky edge of the back foot to strengthen that back leg. Now imagine that you're pulling your front arch, or front heel towards the back arch, and notice how the inner thighs strengthen. Inhale, straighten the right leg, reverse triangle. Feel that awesome stretch down the right side body as you reach the fingertips back. Exhale, bump the left hip back, lengthen as far forward out of your waist as you can, triangle pose. Keeping a bend in that front knee, glutes are hugged under, tailbone draws back towards the left heel, and your chest is working in the direction of spiraling up towards the ceiling.
Inhale, back to warrior two. And exhale, windmill your palms. Step back to a high plank. And we're going to either flow through a vinyasa, which is chaturanga, to upward dog to down dog, or you're just going to meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, left knee, left tricep, as close towards that armpit as you can. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, left knee, right tricep, tapping up as close to the armpit as you can. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, step the left foot up to the left thumb and come up to crescent lunge. Now you can bend into that back supporting right knee, tuck your tailbone under, and then lengthen and strengthen into the back leg. The right heel is stacked over the right toes. It's not on the mat. And there's a 90-degree bend in that front left knee. Hug the left hip back, right hip up and forward. Knit the front ribs in towards one another. Exhale, airplane arms. Hovering your chest, lengthening the fingertips back, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, crescent lunge, lift. And exhale, swim it back, airplane arms. Stay nice and active through that back leg. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, swim the arms back, crescent plane. Core lifts you back up to crescent, and an exhale breath opens us to warrior two. Active through the legs, shoulders over hips, not leaning forward, not leaning back. Hug your buns. Extend through the fingertips, but hug an imaginary blueberry between your shoulder blades. Inhale, straighten that front left leg, reverse triangle. Walk the right fingertips down the right leg, chest opening up towards the ceiling. And exhale, Trikonasana triangle pose. Bump the right hip back, lengthen both sides of the body, maintaining a micro bend in that front left knee, and then stacking the right shoulder over the left. Snuggle the shoulder blades in towards one another as you pull the right hand back. Inhale, back to warrior two. And exhale, windmill the palms. Step back to high plank, vinyasa, or downward facing dog. There's a lot of mowing and blowing going on out front. I have tried to film this class several times today, and we're just gonna go with it because yoga is never gonna happen in a vacuum of peace and quiet. It's about connecting to your breath, connecting to yourself despite what is going on around you. So this is the perfect lesson for me to breathe, stay present, and focus on myself. Inhale, lift your gaze towards your thumbs, and exhale, step your feet behind your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And inhale, Katasana, chair pose. Sit low in that chair. Press the ball mounds of your feet, the inner and outer heel into the mat, and then maybe lift your toes and let them dance a little bit. Tuck your tailbone under, shorten the distance between the hip points and the low ribs. Knit the front ribs in towards one another. Belly button pulls up and in, chair pose. And then exhale, sparrow pose. Interlace the hands behind your back. Lift your heels, sit your buns a little bit lower. Heels back to the earth. Inhale, fingertips up towards the ceiling, chair pose. Exhale, sparrow pose, opposite thumb on top as you pull the knuckles back towards the back of the mat. Get up a little higher on your tippy toes. Sit your hips down a little bit lower. And then inhale, chair pose, and exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms. High plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger pose, tuck, round, and curl, draw the knee in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Right knee to left tricep. Extend the right leg out to the side. Come onto the pinky edge of the right foot and the inner arch of the left foot. Coming up into fallen star. Exhale, left palm back to the back. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. And exhale, step the right foot through. Inhale, crescent lunge. And on your exhale, you're either going to swim your arms back into an airplane lunge, or we're going to come into warrior three by bending into the back knee, hinging forward, balancing on the right leg, hugging both outer hips in, being nice and strong in that left leg. The stronger the left leg is, the more able we are to balance. Flex those left toes back towards the mat. Think of upward facing dog in your chest and reach those fingertips back towards the wall behind you. Shoulder blades draw down your back. Find your focus point, and if you fall out, it's okay. It's just a little playtime. Inhale, lift that back heel a little bit higher. And exhale, carefully step back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. And exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, windmill the palms to frame the front foot. And step the right foot back to meet the left. High plank, Vinyasa. Chaturanga, hover the chest. Pull the elbows back towards the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. I've got my lazy dog here with me. This is Fiona. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Come onto the tippy toes. Inhale, leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger pose. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Extend the left leg. Come onto the pinky edge of the left foot. Pivot onto the inner arch of the right foot and lift the fronts of your hips up towards the ceiling and your chest. Reach that right hand overhead. And then exhale, right palm comes back to the mat. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot up to the left thumb. And inhale, come up, crescent lunge. Our exhale is going to take us into warrior three. So bending into the right knee, hovering your chest as you swim the fingertips back. Draw the shoulder blades back and down, just like we do in that halfway lift, and then lift the pinky fingers up towards the ceiling and press your palms towards one another like you're squeezing an imaginary ball between them. Really fire up the back leg. That's what keeps us in the balance. So it's like a single leg deadlift. If that back leg is floppy, then we're not doing it correctly. Inhale, lift that back leg just a little bit higher. And exhale, warrior two, set the foot down as gently as you can. Inhale, reverse triangle. And exhale, lengthen, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Hug the left hip under, tailbone draws back towards the right heel, chest spirals up towards the ceiling, core is engaged. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, pivot, palms to the mat, step back, high plank. dog, and downward facing dog. Let's take a couple breath cycles here. You can bend your knees, draw your hips back towards your heels. You can pedal out your feet. You can wag your tail side to side if that feels good. All right, we're going to come down into some finishing postures. On an inhale, lift the right leg straight back and out of the right hip. And exhale, lizard pose. Right hand steps to the right foot rather, to the outside of the right hand. Bring the left knee down, untuck the left toes. You can stay up on your palms. You can come down to your forearms, or maybe you bring your forearms down to some blocks. If you start to hunch forward, if you've come down on your forearms, then that's just an indication that today you need to stay up on your palms. If you'd like to join me in a quadriceps stretch, we're going to extend that right arm out like we're going to shake someone's hand. Reach it up and back. Kick the left heel. Ooh, got a little cramp in the back of my hamstring. Kick the left heel in and reach for the outer left foot. Snuggle your shoulder blades down in towards one another. And you want to make sure that you're on the fleshy part above the knee and not on that left kneecap. And then pivot on the right heel to turn the toes out to the right, and the knee can open towards the right a little bit to create some extra space. So this is a really nice stretch for the front of the left hip. And then just settle in to breathe. And if you can't reach the foot, it's okay, just reach the hand back, the fingers back towards the toes. Breathe some space into your hips. And then carefully bring the left foot back. Bring the right hand back down to the mat. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. Reach the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee. Draw the right heel in towards the glute. And we're going to come into rock star or wild thing, pivoting on the left toes. Left foot is flat on the mat. The right tippy toes are on the mat. The knee is bent. Chest and hips open towards the ceiling, and the right hand reaches back. And then carefully come back around into your three-legged dog and downward facing dog. All right, let's do that on the left. Left leg lifts. And exhale, lizard pose, left foot to the outside of the left hand. Bring the right knee down, untuck the right toes. Lengthen your waist out of your hips, your chest forward, shoulder blades down. You can stay up on your palms, or you can come down to your forearms. And then if you'd like to take the quadriceps stretch here, we're going to extend the left arm out, thumb up, like you're going to shake someone's hand. And then your gaze is going to follow that thumb up and back, getting a nice opening in the chest and the shoulder as well. And then kick the right heel in and reach for the outer right foot. Again, make sure that you're on the fleshy part above the kneecap, and then snuggle the shoulder blades down and in. Pivot the left toes out towards the left. The knee can open towards the left a bit. And then the closer you're able to bring that heel in towards the body, the deeper the quad and hip flexor stretch you're going to get on the right. But as you do that, I want you to pay close attention to your breath. If your breath has become short and choppy, then that's not what we want. That's signaling to our muscles to tense up, and what we really want is for our muscles to relax. So if that means the foot has to come farther away from the body, then the foot has to come further away, or if you have to release the foot altogether, release the foot. Listen to what your body's telling you. And then all together, gently release the foot. Bring the left palm back to the mat. Tuck the right toes. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg bends. And then come into that rock star or wild thing. Right leg straight, left knee bent. Reach the left hand back, coming into quite a back bend here. And then coming back around into three-legged dog, and then into our final downward facing dog of our class. Go ahead and walk yourself through. Come up to a seat, and then gently come back onto your back into